I don't know about you, but Earth is probably my favorite planet. And it's not just because it's the one we live on. It's because it's the only planet that I know of where art is being created every day. So since it's Earth Day, we're going to talk about upcycling and repurposing in artwork. So what is upcycling and repurposing? So upcycling and repurposing is when you take something old and make it brand new again by recreating it using the same materials and making it something that you'll use again. Artists like Harriete Estel Berman and Bob Ebendorf create beautiful jewelry pieces out of recycled materials. So we're going to go out to my recycle bin and see what I can find to create art for you. Let's go. I'm out here at my recycle bin. I'm going to see if I have any recycled metal that I could use in here. And there's something right there that I can make art out of. Alright, now that I've found this aluminum can, it's time to show you what you need to make this a macrame plant hanger. I'm going to show you guys how to make a planter out of an aluminum can. So here are the things that you're going to need. An aluminum soup can, some paint, acrylic works, you're going to need your scissors, a paintbrush, your macrame cord or any type of yarn works, some soil, some rocks for drainage in the bottom of your can, and lastly, you're going to need a plant. The first thing you're going to need to do is sand your can. So you want to make sure that that shiny exterior is going to be able to be covered in paint, and if it's too smooth, the paint will just flake off later. So we're going with a 320 grit sandpaper and just sanding off that shine. Next, you're going to paint your can. So I mixed this blue together with some white to make a sky blue that reminded me of the earth. So we're going to paint our can, making sure that we're covering all of the outside and the bottom, because you want to make sure that when you hang this up, everything is blue and nothing is aluminum. When you're done painting your can, you can set it out to dry. So mine took about 45 minutes. For this next step, I got out my measuring tape and my scissors, and I took my can and thought about how long I wanted my plant hanger to be. I decided that I was going to use around 36 inches to create my macrame hanger, just to allow me a little extra length to tie my knots. That way I didn't come up short. If you don't have a measuring tape, you can use about an arm's length of macrame cord. That should be just enough. So I laid down my ruler at 36 inches and I pulled out my macrame cord. So when you pull out your macrame cord, you are wanting to double it down to 36 because you want this to actually be double that. So I'm putting it down at 36 and I'm wrapping the end of my macrame cord back down to the bottom to create a loop at the top. You're going to cut that off at 36 inches. And now it becomes a lot easier. You don't need your ruler anymore. We're just going to copy this piece of macrame thread 4 times. And now you are going to loop them down, double them, and tie a knot at the end, because to make this macrame cord we need 8 strings and we have 4, so we're doubling it to create our 8. I'm matching up the ends just to make sure that I am tying my knot in the very middle, and I'm going to tie a really long knot. That way the top of the macrame hanger has a loop that I can hang things on. If you're using really thick macrame cord, tying the knots might be a little difficult, but if you're using just regular crochet yarn, this will be a little easy. So as you can see, I made it to where there is a hanger at the top. Now I'm going to separate out all of my macrame cords into pairs, just like so. I'm going to take my can and just kind of see where I want the knots to start. And then I'm going to tie a knot in each pair, just like so, trying really hard to make sure that all the string stays laid down really nice and straight. And then I need to make sure that all of my knots are even across all of my strings. you should have 4 knots in pairs, like so. Now you're going to lay all your knots out next to each other, and we're going to create the lattice effect that creates the net of your plant hanger that holds your plant. So we're going to pinch 2 pieces of each of those knots together like so to create new knots, not on the same pair. And we're going to tie all those together again straight across. We're going to take those 2 strings that are left on the ends and tie them together, and then that's going to make it come all the way back around and create a net shape. Now that we have those 2 sets of 4 knots, so 8 knots, we're going to tie off the end to finish our plant hanger. So we're just grabbing all of our yarn near the end and tying a big knot. And now it's ready for your plant hanger. You can trim off the excess at the bottom, and I'll show you how to put your plant in it. So to put your plant in your hanger, you are going to take that bottom knot and kind of separate out all of the knots and pull it up. That way we can set our plant right on top of it. And your other knots should come all the way around your can and create a little nest for it to sit in. Just like so. Now that your plant hanger's done, you can put it anywhere in your house. I suggest putting it somewhere near a window so your plant has enough light, or you can hang it up outside and plant herbs in it if you want.